Hey folks, welcome back to Ndaba Africa, and this video is a bit of satire here, and this is intended for the Namibians in the Zambezi District, formerly known as the Caprivi Zipfel. Not all of them, I'm sure many of them are good human beings and mean well, but for the bigots, racists, and clowns out there who can't seem to comprehend modern standard written English. So let me just start off with a few of the outrageous, outlandish things that you seem to think that you heard. So you actually get to hear them, and now you can claim it. Yes, 4 poachers were intruding onto Sedudu Island back in early November, and they were engaged by the Botswana Defense Force, who shot them and killed them in the engagement of poaching. Those poachers were from Namibia and Zambia, and they were armed, and they were shot righteously. Well, that's ludicrous, of course. Of course, I didn't report any of that. Let's go through the facts again for the hard of hearing. As I reported in a video, because I was asked to do it by people who were curious about what was happening in the Chobe River. People unfamiliar with the situation in Botswana, unfamiliar with the status of Sedudu Island, or Kisikili Island as the Namibians call it. Okay, as I reported in that video, based on the factual information available at the time, it wasn't premature reporting, it was a breaking news story, and people wanted to know. And instead of whining and being pissy about my video, the people in the Zambezi District ought to be grateful that someone paid attention to what's going on up there, and actually reported on the fact that 4 people were shot dead by the Botswana Defense Force. So take your bigotry and your racism and your idiotic childish comments about what business is yours, what do you care, you have no say in this, you're not African. Well, futsek, grow up. It doesn't matter whether you're African. It's a newsworthy event. Shut your mouth about America then, anytime it comes up in the news. Good Lord. Now let's go over the facts as we knew them at the time and as I reported accurately and unbiased. The Botswana Defense Force reported that they shot 4 suspected poachers on Sedudu Island. They reported this after the Zambezi Police District inquired as to what was happening. The Zambezi Police District spokesman reported they heard gunshots in the vicinity or on Sedudu Island on that night in the evening. So, Sedudu Island is an island that grows in size depending on the depth of the Chobe River. When the rains are high, it's a smaller island. When they're low, it's a larger island. It was a case that went before the International Court of Justice, not the International Criminal Court for you thick-headed numbskulls who can't pay attention or don't understand facts. The International Criminal Court has no bearing on Sedudu Island, none whatsoever, and I never claimed that in my video. Pay attention to the words coming out of my mouth. The International Court of Justice, the ICJ, decides disputes between states. And for the chuckleheads, oh, what geopolitical power didn't sign up to it? I don't know who you're talking about. The International Court of Justice is in the Charter of the United Nations, Article 93, if I'm not mistaken, from 1945, a charter drafted by Americans and an organization promulgated by America, based in New York. The United Nations, an original signatory, and we are a charter member of it, and we have adhered to the court's decisions since then, with 2 caveats, as I've mentioned. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan took us out of certain aspects, saying that the court shouldn't have jurisdiction over those, and under George Bush, the second George W. Bush, he clarified that situation on a few instances. But we are part and parcel of the International Court of Justice. That court case was between Namibia and Botswana. The court decided that the island belongs to Botswana. It is sovereign territory of Botswana. That's not an opinion. If you don't understand opinions, you don't understand facts, pay attention. It's not an opinion. It was a judicial opinion by a court. It is now a matter of fact. It's a matter of law recognized by both parties. If you cannot understand that and you think that's biased, then you're thick-headed. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. I offer no opinion. I offer a fact. And it's background information for the people outside of the region who are unfamiliar with what's happening in Botswana and Namibia. It is a fact. It is also a fact that the court said because the depth of the channel on the north side of the island, which is the Namibia side in the Chobe River, was deep enough that it could be traversed, that in fact parties in both countries had the right to travel around the island on the water. Essentially, in all practical terms, making it international boundary, the water, the Chobe River. That's what they did. But that does not give Namibians the right to fish from the island or to land on the island without consent of authorities in Botswana. That is a fact. That's not an opinion. That's not pro-Botswana. That's not anti-Namibia. That's simply stating a fact. By the same token, Botswana may not simply canoe across the river and land in Namibia without authorization from Namibian officials. That is a fact. If that hurts your feelings, then you are just not objective. Now, all of the nonsense that was spewed about my video by people in the Zambezi district after I posted it, telling lies, accusing me of fake news, my news sources were the Namibian and 3 other Namibian media outlets, including the Zambezi Police District, who issued a statement, which was reported in the news, and the Botswana Defense Force, which reported in the news. The fact that you have innuendo and rumor and call me fake news and a liar and biased doesn't mean jack. It means that you are biased and opinionated and unwilling to look at facts objectively. The facts of the case are, these are the claims that are made. They were shot in the head execution style. Where is your evidence? Where is the autopsy? Where is the police case? I keep seeing people with their bigotry and racism coming on my videos and commenting and telling me there's a case. Give me the case number. It's been a month now. I still can't find that information publicly available. I'm happy to report on that if you can give me a credible source. They weren't armed. Okay? They weren't armed. And? Doesn't matter if you're armed. You present a credible threat to someone, particularly in the dark. You know, that's a dangerous situation. They weren't poachers. They were fishermen. And then, well, how could they be poachers? They didn't have a rifle. Let me help people out. Go to Merriam-Webster, go to any other dictionary, and look up the definition of the word poaching in the English language. Poaching includes taking animals illicitly. You can poach by taking nets out and capturing macaws illegally. You don't shoot them. You capture them and you take them. That's poaching. You can poach fish by taking them out of season, over your limit, or in waters you're not authorized to take them. Now, if they were fishing in a canoe, a makoro or something like that, inside the water, and there's no restriction on them fishing at that hour or in that season, then they weren't poaching. But no one makes that claim. They simply make the asinine claim they were fishing, so they're not poachers. Well, that's dumb. It's stupid, and it's a lie. You don't know the facts, nor do I. And I admitted that in my video. I said this is the information we have. So I'm sick of you little clowns that don't have the ability to think clearly. Grow up and behave yourself. Get yourself an education or get a refund on the one you didn't get. It was an objective, unbiased report, and it wasn't anything else. And it certainly wasn't pro-BDF or pro-Botswana, and it sure as hell wasn't anti-Namibia. Knock it off. Knock it off. Some of you are racist, and you've exposed yourself as racist with your comments and your behavior. Many of you who make these comments are bigots, and most of you who make those comments are simply uninformed and unwilling to accept the facts. That video was published a month ago. If there's new information that's come to light, then share it. And share your sources. There were witnesses. Where are the witnesses? Where are the affidavits? Why have they not filed suit? Why have they not gone to the police and filed a charge? Not that the charge will amount to anything because it's in a different country, but you still file a case if you have a grievance. People in the Zambezi district are very upset, and they have a right to be upset. There are a lot of facts that are unknown here. We had simply a statement by the Botswana Defense Force making a claim. And we have information from the Zambezi Police District, which is ambiguous at best. An independent investigation is warranted, as I said in that video. An independent investigation. For the dunderhead who wrote on my site, well, how are killers supposed to investigate themselves? Number one, that's hardly an unbiased opinion. Killers, who knows who's a killer? You don't know whether they used authorized deadly force or they didn't. That's what an investigation hopefully will determine. We may never know. But to call them killers without even knowing, you know what you're talking about. They may very well be, but you have no evidence of that. That's simply your emotional opinion. And you accuse me of being biased and non-factual? That's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. I'm tired of it. Knock it off. Knock it off. Grow up. If you want to contribute to the conversation, then raise legitimate questions. Why isn't there an investigation? What is the status of the investigation? Who's conducting the investigation? Those are legitimate questions. Not attacking me based on my skin color, you pathetic, sad, troll racist. That's pathetic. It's sad. And it speaks volumes about the nature of your character, that you judge people based on the color of skin. Telling me I have no business. You know nothing about me, my familial connections, my experience, my life in Africa. You know nothing about me. And you're a fool to make such idiotic comments, those who made those comments. To those in the Zambezi District who are genuinely concerned about the situation, I empathize with you. It is frustrating. I'm still trying to get information about what actually happened there and who's doing an investigation and what will come of it. If the BDF investigates themselves, will I dismiss it out of hand? No, I won't. But if the unit responsible investigates itself, I will dismiss that out of hand. Absolutely. I would prefer that it be a binational investigation or perhaps even someone from the silent organ in SADC. Maybe SADC could send someone up as an investigator and do an independent investigation here. There's a need for forensic investigation, there's a need for a physical investigation, and there's a legitimate need to interview people involved in this, both the Zambezi police, who claim they heard the shots, the direction they came from, these so-called witnesses who have yet to come forward, we have no information on, who claim they were on the island. Now that's interesting because people tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, and they did nothing wrong. There were witnesses on the island. Okay, if in fact what you just said is true, you just admitted that these non-Botswana nationals violated the territorial integrity of Botswana and illegally invaded Botswana Sedudu Island. And stop with the nonsense. For generations we've been doing... No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what generations you're talking about. It's an international boundary. People know that. People know the Botswana Defense Force shoots poachers on sight. Why? Because poachers murder rangers, villagers, and Botswana BDF soldiers. All the time, folks. It happens frequently. As a consequence, the army has been deployed. If you want this nonsense to stop, then you should have a conversation in a multinational fashion between Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Namibia. Have a quadrilateral commission or something like that to deal with these issues. And do something in Namibia and Zambia about these criminal syndicates that are sending poachers into Botswana to hunt down and kill wildlife and take fish. That's what you do. Don't come on my channel and attack me, telling me I'm uninformed. You don't know what you're talking about. You're sitting here making arguments with no facts, making wild speculation and accusing me of being biased. That's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. It was unbiased, it was objective, and it was factual. And if that hurts your feelings, then stop watching it. But don't make idiotic, baseless, racist, sad, pathetic comments on my channel. Take it elsewhere. We don't like bigots. We don't like racists, whatever their stripe or skin pigmentation. Be they KKK supporters, be they Black Lives Matter, racial supremacists, we don't care. We don't like those people, and you're not welcome here. If, however, you judge people based on the content of their character and their behavior, you're most welcome here. If you'd like to have a genuine discussion about this, we can do so, but with facts. With facts. If you have facts to offer on this case, then feel free to post a comment on this video. You know the name of someone and you'd like to share it with me who actually was present or who actually saw this or who actually read a report, who actually has information. Not this nonsensical emotional supposition and attacks. This was a video at a point in time that I did. It was factually correct based on the information at the time. It was not in favor of any side. It reported the facts. The fact that people in the Zambezi District, some of them have difficulty with those facts and choose to attack me because of their cognitive dissonance is not my shortcoming. It is theirs. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome discourse on this channel, but discourse, not idiotic name calling. And before someone says I'm a hypocrite, no, I'm tired of the baseless attacks. And I've responded to a few of them this week because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. If you want to contribute to the conversation, then do so. If you want to spew bigotry, take it elsewhere. That's what Twitter's for. They love leftist bigotry. They will let you be a bigot all day long there. Have fun. But not here. It's not welcome. Anyway, thank you so much. And again, my sympathies for those in Namibia who are concerned about this, and also for those on the other side of the Chobe in Botswana who are also concerned about the fact that 4 people were shot, and we don't have any explanation or details about what actually happened now a month after the fact. So anyway, folks, thanks a lot for your patronage. Thanks for your time. And I hope that people take this in the spirit that it was done. It was done in the spirit that when people spew nonsense, I don't accept nonsense. And I don't appreciate being accused of being biased or opinionated unless I am biased or opinionated. You watch my live streams, you'll find me be biased. That's right. And I admit my bias, and I tell you clearly where it's coming from. And when I'm talking about a news story, I'll report it objectively if it's real news. Anyway, that's what the videos are for. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a good day. God bless. And thank you for your time and for listening to this nearly 15-minute video. Take care.